Well, the Bible is very relative to everyday life today. There's nothing that hurts me any worse than for people to say that.
Joyce Meyer, one of America's wealthiest female pastors, is a global name in Christian ministry. Known for her straight-talking sermons and relatable biblical teachings, she's inspired millions through TV, radio, and books like Battlefield of the Mind and Living Beyond Your Feelings. Her influence stretches from the U.S. to remote corners of Africa, building a Christian empire along the way. But recently, things haven't been smooth sailing. Surgeries, canceled events, and even government investigations have raised questions. What's going on with Joyce Meyer? Have you heard of it? Let's find out. Joyce Meyer Ministries was founded by Joyce and Dave Meyer, who left Life Christian in 1985. They wanted to start their non-profit ministry, Life in the Word. Through TV shows, radio broadcasts, and conferences, the ministry was successful over the years. She has always been open about her path to growing her ministry. She was born again at age 9, but during an intense prayer when driving to work in 1976, she heard God calling her name. This is when she realized that she was called to be a pastor. Joyce was first a member of Our Savior's Lutheran Church in St. Louis and was leading a Bible class at a local cafeteria. Later, she became active in Life Christian Center, a church in Fenton. After a few years, she became the associate pastor. The church gained a lot of popularity due to her popularity as a Bible teacher. She started her 15-minute radio broadcast on a St. Louis radio station. Then, in 1985, she resigned as the associate pastor and founded her Life in the Word ministry. She also started airing her radio show on many other Chicago and Kansas City stations. Then, in 1993, her husband suggested they start a television ministry called Life in the Word. Her program, Enjoying Everyday Life, is still airing today. By 2002, she received a payment of over $10 million from Hachette Book Group for the rights to her independently released books. She was also listed in Times Magazine as one of the 25 most influential evangelicals in America. Her annual women's conference in St. Louis attracted thousands of women and became increasingly popular. Joyce Meyer also founded Hand of Hope, her ministry's mission arm, which provided feeding, medical care, and other outreach programs. She became a household name in Christian circles, and her teachings helped millions of people find healing and meet their needs. Her teachings also talked about her history of abuse and God's power to heal, resonating with listeners. Joyce Meyer built an extensive global ministry over several decades. However, recent observations show signs of strain within her ministry, hinting at challenges due to operational demands or personal factors. One of the signs is a noticeable decline in live events and public appearances. Historically, Joyce Meyer's live conferences and speaking engagements were a cornerstone of her ministry, drawing large crowds eager to her teachings. However, these events have been reduced, especially since many of her live events have been replaced by pre-recorded sessions. This shift is due to the ministry's challenges, as they are trying to conserve resources and overcome logistical challenges. Another sign of the ministry strain is that Joyce Meyer's ministry is no longer on television. Her television program was previously on KNLC, a St. Louis Christian station, which Reverend Larry Rice of New Life Evangelistic Center operated. He dropped Meyer's programming and said it was because of her excessive lifestyle. He claimed that her teachings often went beyond Scripture, so he canceled the program. Joyce Meyer's ministry has also been affected by the grounding of the private jet and the downsizing of international operations. She had always been accused of using her private jet for personal use, which caused a lot of scandals concerning her extravagant spending. Before, her ministry's global reach was supported by extensive travel, allowing Joyce Meyer to connect with audiences worldwide. However, the scale of these efforts has reduced, and many wonder whether it is due to financial pressures. The ministry's emphasis on social media has shifted to pre-recorded messages and inspirational quotes, suggesting an effort to maintain outreach while adapting to constraints. While these changes ensure a continued presence, they might lack live interactions, dynamism, and personal connection. Additionally, Meyer's personal energy and engagement levels appear altered. Observers have noted a visible change in her vigor during speaking events and shorter recovery periods between engagements. These signs could point to the natural effects of aging, health concerns, or the cumulative impact of decades in ministry. But if you're wondering what happened to Joyce Meyer, it's not only concerning her ministry. She has also been facing financial and operational challenges. Joyce Meyer Ministries has long been a prominent organization in global Christian ministry. Still, the ministry has faced significant financial and operational challenges over the years, especially due to public scrutiny and rising operational costs. The ministry came under fire during a Senate investigation from 2007 to 2011, spearheaded by Senator Chuck Grassley, who was investigating the misuse of donations. This scrutiny was partly triggered by reports of extravagant expenses, including a $43,000 table and a $10 million Gulfstream jet. Many people accused her of having an excessive lifestyle, especially when her ministry was supposed to serve others instead. Even before the Senate probe, the ministry faced many challenges and questions, especially due to her wealth and lifestyle. A 2003 report revealed that the organization has funded luxurious items such as a $2 million house for Joyce and additional houses for her 4 children. She also bought a silver gray Mercedes sedan worth $107,000 for her husband. The ministry's headquarters, valued at $20 million, included lavish furnishings and artwork amounting to $5.7 million. These led to calls from watchdog groups who wanted an IRS investigation. In response, Joyce Meyer Ministries made adjustments to improve financial transparency. She reduced her salary to $250,000 annually and restructured her financial benefit from book sales. The organization also defended its fiscal practices, and she defended her spending habits, saying, "There's no need for us to apologize for being blessed." Managing a large-scale ministry with nearly 1,000 employees across 38 countries poses significant challenges. Operational costs have been substantial, with annual insurance premiums reaching $2 million. The organization's extensive international operations and outreach efforts require significant financial resources, further strained by the ongoing criticism of its financial practices. The grounding of the ministry's private jet in recent years might also be because of the efforts to curb costs and respond to public perception. Also, the rising costs of maintaining global operations and fluctuating donation levels create further pressure. Joyce Meyer has consistently defended her ministry's financial practices, emphasizing the blessings of prosperity and the importance of living a debt-free life. Meyer's perspective underscores a broader debate within the Christian community about wealth and stewardship. She has argued that preachers are often held to a different standard, facing criticism for financial success that might be celebrated in other professions. Despite this defense, Meyer has expressed humility regarding the criticism, admitting that her earlier prosperity-focused teachings required recalibration. This acknowledgement reflects an effort to align her ministry's financial practices with its spiritual mission, demonstrating a commitment to accountability and growth. While Joyce Meyer Ministries has faced significant financial and operational challenges, its ability to adapt to scrutiny and rising costs has allowed it to maintain a substantial global presence. The organization's responses to criticism, including increased transparency and reduced personal compensation for Meyer, have helped to address some concerns. However, the ministry continues to navigate a delicate balance between its expansive operations, public perception, and financial sustainability. As Meyer's teachings evolve and the ministry adapts, its resilience and commitment to its mission remain central to its enduring influence. Joyce Meyer Ministries also faced another challenge when facing a wrongful death lawsuit in 2011. In 2009, Christopher Coleman, the chief of security of her ministry, was arrested on suspicion of murder after the police discovered the bodies of his wife, Sherry Coleman, and 2 sons at their residence, all three passing away from strangulation. This led to a shocking scandal that surrounded the ministry. By 2011, after a lengthy trial, Christopher Coleman was found guilty of 3 counts of first-degree murder and then was sentenced to 3 life sentences. According to the prosecuting Chris Wrights, the murders were part of a premeditated plan to leave his wife for another man that he was having an affair with. He was also concerned that if his extramarital affair were made public, then he would lose his job at Joyce Meyer Ministries. But how did this affect Joyce Meyer Ministries? The family of Sherry Coleman filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the ministry, citing the deaths of the 3 as a result of Joyce's negligence as a counselor. According to the suit, Christopher Coleman anonymously sent different threatening letters to his family so that he wouldn't be suspected of the murder. It was also alleged that Meyer should have been suspicious of the letter and warned his wife about it. The suit was dismissed by Circuit Judge Richard Aguirre in 2013. The murders and the subsequent revelations about Coleman's personal life deeply affected the ministry's internal dynamics. Employees were shocked that such actions could come from someone entrusted with a key leadership role. This erosion of trust led to introspection within the organization and re-evaluating its hiring and monitoring practices. In response, Joyce Meyer Ministries implemented stricter employee screening processes. Background checks, psychological evaluations, and character assessments became more rigorous to ensure the alignment of personal values with the ministry's mission. Leadership also prioritized fostering a culture of transparency and accountability, seeking to rebuild trust and safeguard against future vulnerabilities. The tragedy prompted a shift in the ministry's operational culture. Beyond enhanced employee screening, there was an emphasis on creating a supportive work environment where employees felt empowered to voice concerns or report potential issues. This included introducing better training for managers and establishing clearer communication channels for addressing sensitive matters. The tragedy also reinforced the importance of boundaries between personal lives and professional responsibilities. Leadership recognized that maintaining this distinction was essential not only for the integrity of the ministry, but also for protecting employees' well-being. Joyce Meyer has also been open about her family history, especially her history of abuse. She graduated from O'Fallon Technical High School and married a part-time car salesman shortly after her senior year of high school. The marriage lasted 5 years, and she revealed that her husband frequently cheated on her and persuaded her to steal payroll checks from her employer. They used the money to go on a vacation to California, but she claimed that she returned the money years later. They eventually divorced, and she frequented local bars before meeting Dave Meyer, an engineering draftsman. They got married on January 7, 1967. They gave birth to 4 children: David Meyer, Daniel Meyer, Laura Marie, and Sandra Ellen. All her 4 children are involved in the ministry in some way, which might be good, but it has also negatively impacted her ministry. The vice president of Joyce Meyer Ministries is her husband, Dave Meyer, who has been in the ministry for almost 30 years. Then Daniel Meyer, her youngest son, is the CEO of U.S. operations for the ministry. There is also David Meyer, her other son, who is the CEO of Hand of Hope, the mission arm of Joyce Meyer Ministries. Her other children have also taken on pivotal roles, contributing to the growth and vision of the organization. However, the roles of family members in the professional sphere have led to many challenges. These decisions often carried personal ramifications, making it hard to separate ministry obligations from family dynamics. All the decisions about promotions, responsibilities, and strategic changes of the ministry have always involved the family. As Joyce Meyer began transitioning from her previously grueling public appearances and leadership responsibilities schedule, her son, Daniel Meyer, stepped into a more prominent role. This shift was a significant phase for the ministry, requiring adjustments in leadership and the family dynamic. Daniel's increasing responsibilities highlighted the complexity of succession in a family-led organization. Balancing his duties as an emerging leader and maintaining harmony within the family required careful navigation. The pressure to uphold the ministry's legacy while implementing new ideas added another layer of complexity to his role. This transition tested the family's ability to adapt while remaining aligned with the ministry's mission and values. So even if relying on family members has caused a unified vision and deep trust, it has also led to some vulnerabilities and challenges. The duality of family and professional roles influences conflict resolution, decision-making, and everyday interactions. Many have accused her ministry of nepotism, as her family members are given preferential treatment or positions based on family ties instead of merit. This has caused them to oppose the ministry's decision to add family members to their operations. Meanwhile, there are also issues related to financial conflicts. Joyce Meyer has often been accused of spending tens of thousands of dollars on furniture. The ministry has also spent at least $4 million on the homes for Joyce and her 4 children and pays for all the utilities, maintenance, landscaping, and renovations. Many critics accused her family of benefiting financially from their roles in the ministry. Even if they are in leadership positions, it becomes suspicious that they are in all the high-ranking positions and earning the most from the ministry. There is also an issue of the ministry's lack of transparency. The inner workings of the ministry are not transparent because the family is running it. It is also affected by the influence and roles of the family members. Joyce Meyer shocked the world when she confessed that her beliefs concerning faith and prosperity became out of balance. She has delivered sermons worldwide and written over 100 books, and she once said that hardships resulted from someone who lacked faith. This caused a lot of scandals and accusations, with many saying that she was looking down on poor people and blaming them for their lack of faith. However, years later she emerged, posting a video clip on Instagram that completely changed her teachings. She said, "I'm glad for what I learned about prosperity, but it got out of balance. I'm glad for what I've learned about faith, but it got out of balance. Every time somebody had a problem, I believed it was because they didn't have enough faith. If you got sick, you didn't have enough faith. If your child died, you didn't have enough faith. Well, that's not right. There is nowhere in the Bible where we're promised we will never have any trouble." It surprised everyone that she admitted her mistake in public and spoke about how she would change her mindset. She added, "I don't care how much faith you have, you're not going to avoid ever having trouble. Jesus said, 'In the world you will have tribulation, but cheer up, I have overcome the world.'" Joyce Meyer finally changed her teachings and even apologized for the well-known prosperity gospel many televangelists spoke about. The prosperity gospel is a Christian belief that God wants believers to be wealthy and healthy, and that faith will lead to material gospel. Many preach about this form of gospel, saying that believers can overcome poverty and illness through faith and positive thinking. Joyce Meyer also preached about this, but it has been criticized for being predatory and manipulative, convincing people to pay heavy offerings and tithes to get blessed and good health. Others say it is preaching a message opposite the true gospel of Jesus. Joyce Meyer has also had several significant health problems recently, which has caused many of her followers to be concerned for her. She shared on social media that she is finally on the mend after sitting in a wheelchair for a long time. In her video, she said, "As you know, I've had some downtime because of a fall that I took, a broken ankle and a back surgery that developed a blood clot and caused problems in the other leg. And I've actually been in a wheelchair for the last month, but today, I got some really good news. I went to the orthopedic doctor and they completely took me off of the wheelchair. I have to wear a walking boot for 3 weeks, but I'm on full weight bearing, which is amazing." She revealed that she would be walking on her own 2 feet very soon. The 85-year-old preacher has attracted a lot of public concern about her poor health. She also had surgery and faced different complications. She has also faced some emotional struggles, especially as balancing public expectations is difficult. This was surprising because she has taught people a lot about how to overcome depression, handle anxiety, and deal with emotions. Many of her sermons focus on how to heal from damaged emotions and hold on to God's love. In recent years, speculation about Meyer's health has been a recurring theme in public discourse. In 2019, viewers noticed a visible tremor during one of her appearances, sparking online discussions about her physical well-being. While Meyer has not publicly addressed these speculations in detail, they fueled conversations about her ability to maintain the rigorous demands of ministry leadership. Social media platforms amplified these observations as clips and commentary spread rapidly, drawing concern and criticism. Joyce Meyer has faced media scrutiny for different reasons, especially since she's often under the spotlight on social media. Every statement, sermon, or appearance receives feedback from the public, and she is often criticized for her teachings. But at the same time, it has allowed her to expand her reach to millions of followers and spread her message worldwide. Meyer's teachings, particularly her emphasis on prosperity theology, have long been polarizing. While many followers find hope and inspiration in her message that faith can lead to financial and personal blessings, others criticize this approach as oversimplified and materialistic. Detractors argue that prosperity teachings can exploit vulnerable individuals, encouraging them to give to the ministry with the expectation of receiving financial rewards. Meyer has acknowledged that her views on prosperity and faith were out of balance at one point, but this admission has not silenced critics. Another point of contention is Meyer's tendency to share personal anecdotes during her sermons. While some viewers appreciate her transparency and relatability, others feel these narratives dominate her teachings, detracting from deeper theological insights. Balancing personal authenticity with broader spiritual guidance remains a challenge for her ministry. Meyer's lifestyle and ministry expenditures have also drawn significant criticism. Reports of high-cost items, such as a $10 million private jet, luxurious homes, and expensive furniture, have led to accusations of extravagance and misuse of ministry funds. Although Meyer has defended her spending as a reflection of God's blessings, critics argue that it undermines her credibility as a faith leader. These concerns were highlighted during a Senate investigation into her ministry's finances, which, while ultimately resolved, left lasting questions about financial transparency. Joyce Meyer's public life reflects the complexities of leading a global ministry in an age of amplified scrutiny. While she has inspired millions with her teachings and testimony, persistent criticism about her health, theology, and spending highlights the challenges of maintaining a perfect image as a faith leader. Balancing authenticity with accountability remains a delicate and ongoing task for her ministry. What do you think is the future of Joyce Meyer's ministry? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.